Oh, hello, everybody. Let's wait for the people to get in this room, but we are live here in the Jimnasium. As always, I am your host, XFL Jim, joined by the one, the only, my illustrious co-host. I've missed you so much, buddy. Chase Lupine Fiasco Sesums.
Oh, buddy, I've missed you too. I'm so like my back shambles after I don't know what feels like 20 hours in the car over the last week, and son of a bitch, like it doesn't even matter right now. I'm just jacked to be back in the gymnasium.
And holy shit, a lot has happened since our last. So not even since our last show, since our last time being together,
Yeah,
because we missed the show, we missed the regular Gymnasium, we haven't done a show since two picks porches ago where it was just you and me.
right, yeah. It's been crazy. Man, it's the holidays. It's time to be around the people you love, like you
And
big
family.
galoot. Them too, I guess.
But holy fucking shit, college football is insane. Let's start by going through the craziness that was this last week, week 13. Technically, the last regular season week of college football, although we do have the Army Navy game after next week. Which you're still riding your Navy over 3.5 wins here.
Yeah, man, that actually this is the first time that I think an Army Navy game has ever been of consequence to me in my life, and I love it.
So I'm working on the blog for tomorrow. It's the longest like writing thing I've ever done, and I mentioned in your Navy pick, I'm like, this actually makes like for the best sweat. You're literally sweating the last game of the season.
The very last non-championship game of the season. Yes, it literally is coming down to the wire for me, and I
And I
love it.
don't think that happens very often.
No, I don't think it does at all. I don't think I literally like. I think I've told myself I was going to watch the Army Navy game. I never do though.
Oh, I always watch it, but I never have like any stakes going into it. So it's always just kind of like a very relaxed watching. There's stress going in for you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There's a little bit of tension. There's a little anxiety there. I need Navy to pull out the dub. Um they've looked good at times. They've looked really bad at times, and I just need them to get over the hump, and I need them to do it against their arch rival. Go Navy, beat Army.
There we go. We're going to be the Gymnasium officially now. Just so everyone knows, we will be rooting for Navy in the Navy Army game.
Yeah,
That is
dude. I'm
official.
just gonna listen to that Village People song over and over again until the
Uh,
game.
Same. I'm going to listen to my repertoire of like the same three Village People songs that I listen to, and that's about it. And I'm going to
Yeah,
throw in the
yeah.
Navy in there with Macho Man.
Yeah, man. All right, come on, because we gotta admit that in the Navy has probably one of the best like clap tracks. With
It's real good. It's
there's
really
there's
fucking good.
there's
It's
some real
strong.
soulful clapping in the Navy.
Let's go through the final week of the regular season of college football. Let's go through these games. We're going to go through every fucking game. Some games we're not going to spend too much time on. Others we're going to give plenty of time because they warrant it. Starting off, we have Ball State 20, Buffalo 3. Congratulations, Ball State. It's still kind of a disappointing season because you were one of the favorites to win the MAC. That sucks. Bad for you.
Yeah, you managed to get edged out by a Northern Illinois team that just somehow just didn't win or didn't lose games. Just somehow didn't lose games.
Speaking of which, Western Michigan 42, NIU 21. I wish Western Michigan would have gotten on this level a little bit sooner, or Central Michigan, or even Eastern. They were all alive at some point, but NIU just kept squeaking by.
Man, what I love about NIU is that their coach reminds me of stand-up comedian Bruce in the way that he is
Yes.
shaped.
Yes.
He very much looks like a Bruce kind of guy. Yeah,
Also,
love
he's
it.
one of like very few coaches that gets that emotional at like everything. Like
Oh
he's
yeah,
he's into it, and I love that.
yeah. He's into it. It's I mean,
Good for
we're one of the
NIU from like worst to first.
yeah, worst to first. I mean, and literally just did it by gutting out wins. They didn't blow anybody out. They just kept winning by like 6. I want to say every game, the result was NIU by 6.
There was like a 3-week period where if you combined all of the scores of the games, NIU won by like 12 in like
Right. Right. Yeah, that's insane. I mean, they took down I mean, they displaced 3 directional mishes, which is like,
It's impressive. It's very impressive.
Yeah, it's an undertaking because directional mishes rule the world.
And I think
rule the world.
something like the story like NIU is why the MAC is one of my favorite conferences. It's crazy every year.
Dude, the people who came up with the idea of weeknight MACtion, just
Nobel Prize.
What marketing wizards? Like, they had to have been Don Draper.
Something like, yeah, it had to have been.
Yeah.
Just like someone super hopped up on drugs and like cigarettes and then just like, fuck it. Weekday football.
Yeah, man. Yes. And not only that, weekday football where they put up like 120 points a game.
Where they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's like I've never seen so many like 90-yard touchdowns that I have in MACtion.
They're amazing. Fresno State 40, San Jose State 9. This one must have been cathartic for you.
This felt good. This felt real good. For one, it's great to send one Nicholas Starkel out, a fucking loser. Get out of here, you loser bitch. You fucking loser. He tweeted something, and I was a real asshole, and I like quote tweeted it. I was like, enjoy your career in commercial real estate, I guess. You punk bitch.
I assume that's what he'll be doing. He's probably going to be living on the West Coast. He'll be a good commercial real estate guy.
Dude, he'll have like a one of those like Property Brothers flip or flop kind of shows, I'm sure.
Oh, he could definitely do that. Send him on ESPN and just do that.
Yeah,
and it's just called it's Nick Starkel's Flop or Flop.
Those are his only 2 options: flop or flopperer.
Ole Miss 31, Mississippi State 21. Egg Bowl is always a treat. It's always a nice little Thanksgiving dessert treat.
Yeah, and I mean, credit to Ole Miss. I thought Mississippi State was going to be dangerous in this game. They've been dangerous for weeks now, and the Lane Train maybe making his last stop at Ole Miss.
Maybe we're gonna get to that later when we're done with all these games. When we talk about some coaching stuff, maybe
teaser.
Before we get like as another teaser, just I love Lane Kiffin. He's gonna throw like coaching carousel Twitter in a fucking body bag.
Dude, I love it. We'll get to it. I love it so much.
We'll get to it. Central Michigan 31, Eastern Michigan 10. The battle of the directional mish. Sucks. I was really rooting for Eastern Michigan in this one, but hey, they still had a decent season.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'd argue for Eastern Michigan standards, they had a good season.
Oh yeah. Emu got it done, and for our standards, I mean, isn't it nice going into a game in a no-loss situation?
It really is nice. It's nice to have like a game with you just root for both teams to potentially win. Yeah, I'm looking at their record overall. Yeah, Eastern Michigan by their standards had a good season, 7-5. Good season, Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, good job, Emu. Good job,
and good job, Simu, which anagram for come. So that's always a plus too.
That's true. It's the real Axl Rose of directional mish schools.
I mean, it fits. Who's their fucking coach? It fits. What's his name? Shark fucker super well.
McElwain. I thought McElwain was Western. I don't remember. They're all equal.
They all kind of bundled together. Yeah. Bowling Green 21, Ohio 10. Ohio's just not good this year. As soon as Frank Solich left, I was out on Ohio. Yeah, Bowling Green's had some fucking weird games though.
Yeah, and I mean even Ohio like managed to gut out some games this year and gets some dubs, but and especially like you said, like in a year where like Frank Solich is gone, should have just been done for Ohio. Like they should have been 0 for this season. They still got it done.
Yep. And then Bowling Green, like as soon as they fired fucking the worst defensive coordinator of all time and Brian Van Gorder, look what happens. They beat Minnesota and they get some wins under their belt.
Yeah, man. Yeah. A Minnesota team that I mean, who knows if they've actually got a good running back. They could have won the West this year in the Big Ten.
They were close. They were close without him.
Yep.
San Diego State 27, Boise State 16. As good as that Fresno State win felt, this one hurt just a little bit because if Boise State would have won this one, then Fresno State's walking into a Mountain West championship game.
Yes, and I was looking at like plus 223.35 for them to win the
it was something. It was something around that. It was some crazy like plus 20 like 500 number on Fresno State. They still had a pretty damn good season for how banged up they were. I think they just had like one inexplicable loss to Hawaii. Yeah, and everything else you can kind of explain away by injuries.
Yep, and San Diego State, I mean, good on you. This was a really good game for San Diego State. Their quarterback was not working. Brady Hoke gave him the hook. They put in the replacement, and they put together a hell of a comeback to just beat the brakes off of Boise.
Hell yeah. Also, they're like the quietest. What did they go? 11-1?
11-1 playing at a home stadium over 100 miles.
Yeah, they're playing in Carson,
their
California.
They're playing in LA pretty much.
It's
in an MLS stadium.
Also, anytime we talk about San Diego State, we are obligated, as everyone should be obligated to talk about. They have the best punter of all time on that team. He's so fucking good.
Yeah.
He will be on an NFL team, and he will get drafted probably in the 3 rounds. He's so good.
Oh yeah, he's I mean, if he's got podcast skills, Pat McAfee, watch the fuck out.
Right. Texas 22, Kansas State 17. I hate that Texas gets to end the season on a win. I have a Kansas State buddy who is actually on. He's on the offensive staff train right now because their offensive staff is just not getting it done how they want it to.
Hear me out, Kansas State. All you have to do is recruit 11. Was it Jax Dinnemans, their fullback, who is a rectangle.
He's awesome.
They had to have gotten his uniform from the same place that SpongeBob gets his pants because they are shaped the exact fucking same way.
K-State, it's not really a disappointing season. It's a nice season. You kind of want a little bit more. You kind of wish you could have get this win over Texas, but I'd look back at it fondly. Skylar Thompson's done. His time at K-State is over. I'm wondering where they're going to go at quarterback. They have this recruit, or I think they have a high-ranked recruit coming in that might be able to take the spot.
And man, just Texas ending the season like on a high note and not going out like icing an L sucks.
It does, but also they're not making a bowl game, so that's always fun too.
Yes, it is.
Utah State 35, New Mexico 10. Utah State going to the Mountain West Championship game against SDSU. It'll be an interesting one for sure.
It will be an interesting one. I have a question for you, which is, can Utah State's punter kick the ball 200 nautical miles? Because SDSU's can.
No, Utah State's cannot, and that's probably why I might lean SDSU in this matchup.
Yeah, when's the last time you were like, you saw a game and you're like, listen, it's going to come down to this kid with the golden leg, this fucking punter. Does he kick field goals? Kinda, but punting, that's where his real value is.
Punting is where you really get your money's worth with this guy. And
it's something to be said to be able to just flip a field no matter where you are.
It is insane. It is like, I've never seen this much of a difference maker at punter. It's fucking crazy.
Right.
I guess we got to talk about it. Iowa 28, Nebraska 21. This game broke me in every sense of the manner. Nebraska was up like 2 scores going into the fourth quarter and then just gave up like 23 straight points to Iowa.
And it was the same fucking story as the entire season. Anytime Nebraska puts foot near ball, just fucking calamity happens. Absolute calamity happens. Somehow Scott Frost managed to kill Milt twice.
It's insane.
It's insane. Poor Milt.
Poor fucking Milt. And I had $1,000 on this game. So that's just
pour your $1,000.
For my $1,000. Congratulations, Iowa. You're going to the Big Ten championship game. I really wish we could have taken that from you. But holy shit, Nebraska. And also, like, I don't know what, like, I guess Logan Smothers is starting next year. I assume that's the plan.
He looked fairly good.
He looked pretty decent.
Yeah, he looked a little bit like, like Adrian Martinez was like best whenever whatever just chaos happened. Like the best like scripted plays, not his bag, but like the Smothers kid looked like he could actually, like run plays and pass from a pocket and such. So
I've got hope. There's options. Like we could go with Smothers. Technically, Adrian has another year of eligibility if they want to go that route. That is going to be a lot of coin flip feelings and a lot of Nebraska fans. And then you could, if you want to go weird with it, Dylan Gabriel out of UCF is transferring. You could go and grab him. He did play for like a year under Scott Frost.
Under Scott Frost, yeah.
Yeah, so
I was a catty bitch during this game because I definitely tweeted out directly at like the official like university football like Twitter feed. I was like, "Are you sure Scott Frost isn't fired?" And then hit him again with like, "Are you sure that he's not fired?"
They're doing the whole Michigan Harbaugh contract renegotiation thing, which I hope fucking works out, just like it's worked out for Michigan this year.
Dude, homie's got to go. I'm sorry, Jim. Homie's
No,
got to
no,
go.
he's not going, but yeah, I'm with you. He's we will know by early October next year whether he's going or not.
I hope you make a bowl game next year. They still get rid of him, and Tom Osborne coaches the bowl game.
We'll get, but that's a little teaser as well because that'll be fucking amazing. Yep. UAB 42, UTEP 25. Congratulations, UAB. Good job.
The Blazers.
Also, UTEP, I mean, like, you kind of fizzled at the end of the season there, but as far as UTEP's concerned, this is a great fucking season.
Yeah, very, very strong start. I'm the fact that the UAB has just like picked themselves up out of the absolute like gutter of college football from like just killing their program one year to having these kind of seasons and putting these kind of teams together. Way to go, Blazers. Burning 8 in the countryside.
Way to fucking go. I love that reference so fucking much.
Trogdor.
UCF 17, USF 13. This is gross. Just gross game.
What was the final score in that one? Because
17-13.
USF?
UCF won.
I
know you want Gus to lose every time.
Yeah, but him not covering to a team like that is still kind of sweet. That's like a little like a small portion. It's like small plates. It's like tapas.
It's like a little finger food.
Yeah. It's a real hors d'oeuvre.
The main course is right here. Arkansas 34, Missouri 17.
God.
Oh, buddy.
This game doesn't mean anything to me, but god damn it, I wanted this game so bad because we just kept inexplicably losing to Missouri for so many years.
Hey, they were pretty good when they got into the SEC.
Yeah, they were pretty good. And then even when they were bad, we just inexplicably would just like cough up games to Missouri at the end of the season. Like that was like the real Burt move. But yeah, they went out. They handled business, man. They did the fucking thing. I'm so excited about what we got coming back next year. I'm sad that the real stud from that game probably isn't coming back next year because I gotta think that he's a first rounder, and Treylon Burks, who is
probably.
I don't know how he's not getting recognition as probably the best wide receiver in the country. I'm going to say it. He's the best wide receiver in the country.
I would probably put him, dude, when I think about it more and more, this wide receiver class is pretty fucking strong.
I'd
put him in like the top 5.
Dude, he's going to get to the combine and he's going to end up being a top 5 pick. His hands are so big that Nike does not make gloves that big.
That's fucking insane. If I were to tell you at the beginning of the season that LSU would be last in the SEC West and Arkansas would be 3rd, what would you tell me?
I don't know. I kind of felt like this is where we were gonna fall, like going into the season. Like,
Did you think 3rd?
Yeah. Okay. I thought so. I mean, I literally thought that we were around an 8-win team. Like, I remember even talking team totals with our boy Mike, and he was like, "Hey man, I don't know if I can go 6. There are 3 games I don't know if we're gonna get." And I was like, "What are the 3 games?" It's like this one, this one, this one. I was like, "We're gonna win this. We're going to win that one. We're gonna win that one." We won 2 of 3, and that really was the difference. I mean, we're 1 play away. We're a missed 2 point away from being 9-3. Come on, man.
It's true. And like you could technically, I could see Arkansas, like there's this stretch of teams where like 3rd through 5th are all 4-4 in conference.
Right.
You just sit atop of the terrible, terrible Texas A&M and Mississippi State. It's nice to see Auburn tied with LSU for last.
It is so sweet. It is so sweet. The way that Auburn just crumbled down the stretch, just oh god. 5 Michelin stars this college football season.
Also, I don't want to we're a half biased podcast, but congratulations to the SEC. Every team except Vanderbilt's bowl eligible. It's pretty fucking impressive. Even though you only play 8 conference games and some of these schools schedule like fucking massive cupcakes, that's still really impressive.
Yeah. Even though we passed New Mexico State around like a
dirty,
fucking
dirty
fluffer.
whore.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's
I'll still give credit for that.
Yeah, there's part of me that's like, yeah, our scheduling is bullshit, but there's also part of me that's like, we play a really tough conference schedule. You kind of need a break.
Well, you guys in the West do. I'm not going to give that
the
credit.
East, not so much.
I'm not going to give that credit to the East, who like Missouri, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Right. By the way, two things regarding Missouri before we move on. One is Eli Drinkwitz looks like the fat kid that you put on a white bread bag. Like, like he's got
He's
those
the
like
Wonder Boy.
big fucking chubby apple cheeks. And two, you had to know Dan Mullen was fired after he fucking punked him after they beat with his whole like just
with his Darth Vader thing. Oh, it was
perfect. Especially after Dan Mullen did that shit. God, it was great. It was great. Here's to you, Eli Drinkwitz, even though your team is bullshit and I fucking hate you because of it.
Coastal Carolina 27, South Alabama 21 in overtime. Still, like, I'd say this is like, as far as Coastal concerned, this is a pretty good season considering your star quarterback was injured for like 2 or 3 weeks
because he was hit so hard that he vomited.
Yep.
Never gonna forget that. Put that on the highlight reel for 21.
You're not competing for the conference, but you still had a good season, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean
and you're a fun team.
You're a fun team, and when you consider where the Shants were just 4 years ago,
2 years ago.
Yeah, it's impressive what they're doing there. They might be building something big, and once they get players that I think are actually like Division I big, like Group of 5 big, like they're gonna keep making noise.
I think it depends on how long they can hold on to that coach.
Fair, very fair.
That's a stipulation with almost every G5. And South Alabama, you were one of the most consistently entertaining teams to watch this entire year.
I think Gundy should hire the guy from Coastal Carolina so that they have a dual mullet coaching staff.
I would love it.
Yes.
I'd fucking love that. Air Force 48, UNLV 14. Air Force laid the wood out. They were technically, like, by the time this game happened, they weren't alive for the Mountain West, but I think if Boise lost and it was Boise lost and Utah State lost. So they needed a miracle.
God, and you're talking about one of the things that just makes this week of football so fun is the scenarios. Yes. Yeah, it was great. And hey, this I think you called it before the season starts. Like this Air Force team is probably the best service academy team. They're
you could say them and Army. The Army, like on any given day, it's hard. But I think like as far as their conference goes, like Air Force was consistently really pretty damn good.
They're really good. They're very good at what they do, running that triple option.
Mm-hmm. And UNLV, you know what? Season's not completely done. You're probably, I mean, I don't know. You won 2 games. Good job.
Good job. And they really showed signs of life late.
They did. They were competitive.
I managed to hit on them a couple times in like first quarter, first half money lines. Like they came out and battled. You know, you love to see that 2 lost teams coming out and fucking battling. Or 2 win teams. Sorry.
Cincinnati 35, Eastern Carolina 13. Good on Cincinnati for not like slipping up. This game was never really out of hand. Good for them for not like getting a trip up spot here going into the conference championship week.
This win was the final score makes them look way better than this win actually was. This one was in doubt for a good long time, that ECU quarterback is garbage.
Yeah, ECU's offense isn't great. Their defense is good though.
Yeah, their defense is good, but like it took Cincinnati a long time to actually put this away. Like I honestly thought ECU was actually going to end up covering this game. If it's me, I see it as a knock against Cincinnati this last game, even though they won by 20.
I still think Cincinnati is just they're the definition of a team that just plays to the level of their opponent every single week.
I mean, they won't play to the level of Georgia if they get the chance.
I don't know, man. Cincinnati's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the playoff rankings, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for them.
I was talking to Biho about this. I think that the committee really set this up to pull the rug right out from Cincinnati.
See, I don't think so. Like if Cincinnati wins, they're in. I think that's the long short of it. If they beat Houston, maybe if it's like a close loss, but then then you'd have to say like it'd be Oklahoma State getting it instead of them.
I'd put Oklahoma State in instead of them.
I'm on a weird maybe. Let's see. So you have the scenario of if Georgia. What do you think the rankings will be going into conference championship week? It's going to be Georgia 1. I think Michigan's going to be 2. I think Michigan's going to jump up. There's basically like switch spots with Ohio State.
Yeah, I think that to be. Gotta be giving credit to people that I don't want to give
I
credit to and shit. Credit to Jim Harbaugh. I fucking
yeah,
guess
we'll
that
get to
was a
that.
really
We'll
good
get to that game
win.
later, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good win. And so yes, they probably jump. Alabama ends up 2, Cincinnati sits 4. Or sorry, Alabama ends
Yeah,
3,
Alabama 3, Cincinnati
Cincinnati's
4, and then
and
I would
then
say Oklahoma State 5,
5, Notre Dame 6.
Notre Dame 6.
Yeah.
So then if you get chalk, you get Alabama losing to Georgia, Michigan beating Iowa, and then Cincinnati beating Houston,
Yep.
and Oklahoma State beating Baylor. I think your playoffs end up being Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Oklahoma State 3, Cincinnati 4.
Okay. But if chalk holds and it's a close game against Georgia and Alabama, America,
I don't think so.
buy a set of training butt plugs and prepare your anus for a 2-loss Alabama team to make the fucking playoff.
I just don't. There's no. This would be like the most unprecedented thing ever. Is a 2-loss non-conference champ getting in.
Yeah.
I think they'd put Notre Dame over Alabama.
Still gonna happen.
They would put Notre Dame over Alabama at that point.
Maybe. Probably not. I really think that some shit like that is going to happen.
I don't believe it. I think Alabama would have a better chance if they didn't play in a conference championship than if they lose the conference championship game.
Here's the deal, though. I think that there is a really good chance that Alabama could maybe upset Georgia in that conference championship.
There's a chance, and then that's what like fucks everything up.
Well, then I think you end up with Alabama 1, Georgia 2. You have
and then like
then
if
you
it's
have
chalk for, there's so many scenarios.
Michigan 3.
Like what if Iowa
Oklahoma State jumps Cincinnati for 4?
But then what if the crazy chaos happens and you get Baylor wins, Iowa wins, Alabama wins, Cincinnati wins? What happens then?
Oh, then you got to put Fresno State in.
I mean, yeah, you got to put Fresno.
And Fresno State has to play for the chip.
They got to play for the fucking chip. Before we get too far away from Nebraska, I saw that Big Cat from Barstool mentioned, and I think this is a true fact. If you don't want blowouts in the playoffs, just put Nebraska in because they'll just lose in a heartbreaker every time.
Yeah. They will play it down to the wire. And then lose.
Yep, it's just what happens. Utah 28, Colorado 13. Good job, Utah, not getting in a letdown after your curb stomping of Oregon.
But way to go, Colorado covering.
Good job, Colorado covering. They became kind of like a covering team this last little 4 weeks.
Yeah, they gave some teams some games. That's for sure. They're still bad. They're gonna be bad for a little bit.
They have a terrible offense. Their offense is so bad.
Terrible.
Iowa State 48, TCU 14. Good job, Cyclones. I mean, if you didn't have the expectations that we had of Iowa State at the start of the season, I would call this a successful season.
For pretty much the rest of the existence of Ames, Iowa, and Iowa State, this would be a successful season.
It's just that we're really holding them to they were supposed to be the second best team in this conference. They were supposed to be competing for the championship, and it just didn't manifest.
It just folded like a fucking lawn chair.
And TCU. Speaking of, that's another teaser. We're going to be talking about you in a little bit when we talk about these coaching carousel shit.
Yeah. Yep.
NC State 34, North Carolina 30. This is a fun game.
It was a really fun game. Boy, did you bonk, North Carolina. My Lord. Someone said it on Twitter. You had Mac Brown wearing his bubble goose down jacket on the side. He's like, it looks like he should be coaching a relegation game for Portsmouth right now. My God, it was God. I don't know how North Carolina fucked that up. I think probably either Leo or Beho tweeted something about down goes North Carolina State.
I think so. I think one of them did, and that was the nail in the coffin for North Carolina.
Come on, Kryptonite, you fucking mushes. God, I can't stand you guys sometimes.
Washington State 40, Washington 13. The battle of the interim coaches had a very clear winner.
Yep. And
another guy we're going to be talking about here in a little bit.
Yeah, we know now who gets to ask the question. How you like them apples?
Washington fucking State. Who, if Oregon would have lost to Oregon State, we're in prime position, they were the next team up in the Pac-12 North. Washington State could have still like theoretically competed for a Pac-12 championship, which is nuts.
Insane. I honestly, I probably take the interim tag off a homie at Washington State.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, they did.
They did. Good. Deserved. This is Coach O, the second rising.
Right. Getting into Saturday, Baylor 27, Texas Tech 24. This was a surprisingly competitive game. So a lot of these morning games for me, I was listening to the College Football Blitz. It's like College Football Red Zone on the radio because I was driving back home. Mm-hmm. So this game was like on a decent amount. It seemed fucking electric.
Yeah, I don't think Baylor's anywhere as a program where they are like professional enough not to like really fuck up in a letdown spot. And you got to think that this is a big time letdown spot where like, all they really needed to win to put themselves in position to go to the Big 12 championship game. And they almost let themselves down. Fortunately, they were playing Texas Tech.
I mean, yeah, Texas Tech, like Garibay, their kicker, he had that massive fucking kick a few weeks ago. He just couldn't do it again. He just couldn't do it one more time. He had the distance, but he missed barely. Toledo 49, Akron 14. Guess what? Akron's just a bad team.
Yep.
That's really all there is to it. Still a disappointing season for Toledo. Anytime Toledo's not in contention for a MAC championship, in my opinion, should be a disappointing season for Toledo. They should be like the best team in this conference.
Yeah, I agree.
Army 31, Liberty 16. Good job, Army. I think Liberty's just kind of maybe Hugh Freeze has packed it up. Maybe he goes somewhere. Who fucking knows?
They actually, you call him Liberty. I believe it's pronounced Libibity. Libibity actually extended Hugh Freeze. Well, he signed like a 4-year extension. Like I want to say
it's a good fit.
Late this week. He's gonna jump sometime soon, at least. I think. If he keeps having decent seasons at Liberty, I think he's going to get plucked up either as a coordinator or as a head.
Yeah, I think so too. Florida 24, Florida State 21. Fuck you, Florida State. Can't believe you lost. You were looking up. You were looking better at the end of the season, and then you just pooped it down your leg.
Oh yeah, and not to mention you had a kicker who just went big whiffa on the onside kick.
Whiff.
Just big whiff. That
was like the worst onside kick I've ever seen.
That is embarrassing for you. Terribly embarrassing. God, the great was the shot of him, the kicker on the sideline after he went big whiffer. And like, it was just like, it was head down because he knew the eyes of Florida were on him. He's like,
I'm probably not kicking here again.
All kickers to me just look like a nose wearing a helmet. So it's just like a nose angled down. Like,
it's true. Yeah. This is a battle for bowl eligibility. Congratulations, Florida, for making a bowl, I guess.
Sure.
Georgia 45, Georgia Tech 0. Yeah, who didn't see this coming, honestly?
Pretty much. Handled their biz. There was no world where they weren't going to just mollywomp Tech.
Yep. Michigan 42, Ohio State 27. Big ups to Harbaugh. Coaching for his job, gets it fucking done.
Hey, man, I got to admit when I was wrong. I was wrong about Harbaugh in Michigan this season. He did it. He did the damn thing. Like, those kids came out fired up. They shut down.
Michigan defensive line just fucking owned.
Was it Ajabo? And then that other kid that Ajabo is playing with on the opposite side defensive end, he's gonna end up getting drafted because of Ajabo, because he's getting a few sacks just because there's so much focus on Ajabo on the other side.
Yeah. This Michigan team's fucking good.
It's good.
Honestly, I think they match up pretty well against a lot of teams.
Here's the deal. I kind of wonder if Ohio State would have kicked the shit out of them if that game wasn't in the snow.
Maybe.
I think that I really think that kind of neutralized Ohio State's speed quite a bit.
Well, guess what? Ohio State plays in the Big Ten. They should fucking get used to it.
That's a good point. It's an excellent point. Yeah. Hey, bro, climate change is looking towards the future.
It's true. Big Ten is going to be the Pac-12 before you know it.
Yep.
Wake Forest 41, Boston College 10. Good job, Wake. Fucking making the ACC championship game for the first time since 2006.
Snake for Wake.
Quake for Wake.
Oh, well, it's not
Quake
Snake.
for Wake.
Okay.
It's going to be a Wake Forest Pitt ACC championship game, just like we all predicted at the start of the season.
Cake for Wake.
I like that.
Yeah.
You think Clausen's going to go anywhere?
I mean,
I
he
think
might go
Wake's
to
like a perfect spot for him.
He might go to like his family's like pickle factory.
Oh, he could.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like him at Wake.
I also think that there's some coaches that if you can be successful at private institutions such as like Wake, it's such an awesome gig where like you can't have a crazy fan base like filing like Freedom of Information Act requests for like your phone records. No one actually needs to know how much you get paid because you're not like a state employee.
It could also be like Wake in particular. It could be like a nice, less stressful job just because you don't have the rabid fan base, just because there's not that much of an alumni base.
Right. Because I think only like 600 people go to school there.
It's like almost nothing. It's fucking insane.
I'm gonna venture to guess that your high school graduating class was roughly the same as the attendance of Wake.
Maybe my entire high school. I had a very small high school. I had a very small school.
Right. No, I've seen your town. I've been there.
Yep. Maryland 40, Rutgers 16. I don't know what happened here. Shiano? What the fuck?
Give him another year.
I mean, I'll give him another year. I still think this is a pretty decent year for Rutgers, all things considered. But
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, Maryland's going to be a team that like just September will roll around and we'll get all hyped up on September Maryland again, and then October will come and they'll just go back to being bad. Every year, it's the same story.
In other news, sky is blue, grass is green.
Exactly. Kent State 48, Miami of Ohio 47 in overtime. This game was fucking electric. I watched this whole fucking thing.
God,
This was to decide the winner of the MAC East, and it did not disappoint. Back and forth the whole fucking time.
God, kind of low scoring for a MAC game, but sure. Yeah, great game. It was a defensive MAC struggle.
Good Lord, 48-47. It all comes down to the last bit. It was beautiful.
Yeah, man. God, great games all week.
Houston 45, UConn 17. This was not a great game. Houston did what they're supposed to do. They just dog walked UConn.
Yep. And they're about to Bearcat walk fucking Cincy next week.
I don't think so, my friend.
Suck my dick from the back.
Fuck, I love that so much.
God, should we? All right.
You know what, let's pause it right now.
Pause.
Interim story.
Yes.
Where did this come from?
There's a gentleman on Twitter. Like, I don't know. He follows me. I follow him. He maybe has like 50 followers. But man, this guy comes in hot. This guy's hilarious. Yeah, I am gonna shout this gentleman out. Let me find him because I'm sure he liked something I did recently. It's I think it's at TVG Youngboy, but let me confirm. Let's confirm.
The confirmation that we do have is this guy goes fucking hard. He full sends everything.
This guy is all gas, no brakes, man. From the fucking rooter to the tutor, this guy goes. As I'm looking this up, I'll go ahead and tell the story here, which is like, I want to say like he had money on Michigan State. Okay, found it. It is at TVG Youngboy. Follow this guy. This guy's hilarious. So he had money on Michigan State in the Michigan State Ohio State game, and someone like replied to him about like taking one of the worst defenses against one of the best offenses. And I think he really thought out this reply to it. It was a really sensible reply. And I'm going to say it how I hear it in my head every single time I think about it, which was like, he really took his time and he crafted a thoughtful response, which was, suck my dick from the back. And I was like, this is amazing.
Who is the response to anything?
Yeah, end of conflict. You know how you have a circle button to spin when you're playing Madden? That's the win the argument instantly button on your controller. R3, I think it is. My
Suck
God.
my dick from the back.
Suck my dick from the back. Like, oh my god, it's so I die laughing.
That's
I
so
die
fucking
laughing
good.
every time I think about it. I love it. I love it. I love this guy. I absolutely
I like
love
the
this
like.
guy.
How are you? I have the image in my head of like, how are you going to do that?
Oh, it's a push through.
There's a lot involved.
Yeah, this is a push through. It's not a flattering position for you to be in if you're the one fulfilling that man's.
I don't think it's a flattering
request.
position for either person.
It's a very vulnerable position to put you in. That's what I like, is that he comes in hot, but he's also got an air of vulnerability to him.
He gives and takes.
He does. He does. And also, I mean, he's a man of like the 2000s. He's up, butt play, Don't.
Oh yeah,
don't,
he's a modern man.
It's not 1990 anymore, and you better
People
suck
eat ass
his
now.
dick from the back,
bitch. I think if it has the bitch. Yeah. It's implied.
But also a please.
Yeah.
It's a big ask.
There's a lot implied there.
I love this dude so much.
There's a lot implied with like when you ask someone to suck your dick from the back.
Yes.
I fucking love that.
Yes. I don't know how we come back from this. I don't know how we don't just discuss this for the next hour and a half.
We just as one does, we just plow through. We just plow fucking through.
Let's go.
Navy 38, Temple 14. Good job, Navy. Hey, they're still alive for that win total. We talked about that earlier.
Yo, let's get me those 4, Ken Montana.
Miami, Florida, 47, Duke 10. Duke, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about them in a little bit too.
Yep.
Cutcliffe out. Rice 35.
Cutcliffe it up
31.
and Cutcliffe it out.
Oh, you should.
Yeah,
as good as that story was, that was bad.
I just took it down a notch. All right, go ahead. Say that again. What are the scores?
That's what we needed. Rice 35, Louisiana Tech 31. Also a job we're going to be talking about in a little bit.
Yeah, good for you, Rice.
Good for you, Rice. Bad Louisiana Tech. ODU 56, Charlotte 34. I did not see this Old Dominion season coming, to be honest.
Bowl eligible Old Dominion.
Eligible ODU. Fucking good job.
Yeah, man. Congrats to ODU. They really turned it on late. Really turned it on late.
Really did. Throw your dick in the air, Chase. Congratulations. North Texas 45, UTSA 23.
Woo! Mean green. Oh. They represent a hue. That hue is green, and that green cantankerous as hell. God, that team surged in the end. I'm excited about what they could possibly do next year. They need a new quarterback. Their quarterback, Austin not great. Not great.
They are speaking of bowl eligible, though. Bowl eligible.
They rattled off like 4 straight to hit bowl eligibility and the over in their season win total. And who'd they do it against? The
Meepers. They stopped the undefeated season.
They stopped they shall meep no more. They ran into the Mean Green. The Mean Green got a mean jazz program while we're at it.
Now UTSA isn't even favored in the conference championship game.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's because UNT wrecks shit.
And also Western Kentucky has like the number 3 offense in the country. Those
big red amorphous blobs.
Also really fun. Good. Texas State 24, Arkansas State 22. This is just a game. I didn't really watch this one. This one flew under the radar for me.
Dude, Arkansas State is the Nebraska of the Fun Belt, I think. Like they just pretty much give teams really good games.
Georgia State 37, Troy 10. This is another job we're going to be talking about at the in a little bit.
Did they already make the hire?
No, I don't know if they've made the hire, but either way, we'll talk about it.
I'm thinking of Georgia Southern, I think.
Georgia Southern has already made the hire. I'm not talking about Georgia State, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Let's get to it. Let's keep going.
We will talk about that one in a little bit. Appalachian State 27, Georgia Southern 3. Georgia Southern punted midway through the season. Everyone already knows they hired Clay Helton. They're donezo with that. Southern Miss 37, FIU 17. Speaking of a job we're going to be talking about in a little bit, FIU, Southern Miss, good end of the season. As soon as they went like all Wildcat and like stopped throwing the ball and just kept giving the ball to Frank Gore Jr., they started winning.
Right. Crazy. It's so crazy. Like, and then like Frank Gore throwing like 50-yard touchdown passes. Frank Gore Jr. Sorry, as a running back, as a Wildcat running back. Just I mean, what's a more fun way to end your season than fucking wrecking an airport, Florida International?
Right. Hawaii 38, Wyoming 14. Congratulations, Hawaii. This was an unexpected win. Hawaii's in that weird spot where they have 6 wins but aren't technically bowl eligible because they play 13 games.
Yeah, that's because they play. Was it New Mexico State twice?
Well, no. God. Like they're 6 and 7, so they don't have a positive record, so they're not bowl eligible.
Oh,
they're not 6 and 6. They're 6 and 7.
Life moves a little different on the islands.
Life moves a little different there. New Mexico State 44, UMass 27. UMass is like the worst team.
This might have been their best effort of the season too.
No, they beat UConn. Remember that?
Oh, that's right.
They beat UConn. Purdue 44, Indiana 7. Purdue's having a good season. Indiana's not. It's pretty telling. They're having like polar opposite seasons. Yep. Jeff Brom did a great job coaching for his job this year.
You did it.
He did fucking good job, Purdue. Mm-hmm. I think if Iowa would have lost, they might have been eligible. If Iowa and Wisconsin both lost, I think Purdue gets in to the Big Ten championship game.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I'm even more disappointed in Nebraska that we didn't beat Iowa and let Purdue play Michigan.
If Purdue beats Notre Dame, they're Indiana State champions. Too.
Because who better to like ruin Michigan's season and like upset them in the Big Ten championship game than Purdue? What the fuck?
Yeah. And Jim Harbaugh only does the most embarrassing thing possible.
Yep. So, and both of the coaches are coaching for their jobs. So like that cancels out.
That's right. It just comes down to all sorts of fuckery at that point.
It would have been fucking amazing. I'm even more upset now that Nebraska lost to Iowa. Fuck me. Alabama 24, Auburn 22. As soon as Alabama tied it up, I knew they were going to win. That was,
yeah, pretty much. And they got that good old fashioned SEC officiating too. Oh, they're protecting Alabama. They want Alabama in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And then hate to see it. Hate to see Auburn collapse.
This is kind of a win-win for you. This is kind of a win-win for you.
Kind of. It serves
a win-win and a lose
Alabama. Yeah, it serves my Alabama to loss still getting the playoff purposes, and it also fuck Auburn.
Yeah. Western Kentucky 53, Marshall 21. There's that Western Kentucky offense coming around. They're competing for the CUSA championship. They're favored, honestly.
You've been blah. You've been Redamorphous.
You've been blah, Marshall. That's what you get for firing Doc Holliday, you fucks. Michigan State 30, Penn State 27.
Big Ten football.
Also, good bounce back for Michigan State after getting ass blasted by Ohio State last week.
Yeah, they did. And apparently you're going to have Midnight Mel Tucker for the next 30 to 45 years.
$9.5 million over 10 years.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I guess so.
I like him. I think he's good.
I think he's good. I don't think he's $9.5 million good. I think he's good. I don't think he's $9.5 million good.
Yeah, I wonder how they're putting that all together. Where that's all coming from? Because
they're a big school, right? Yeah. They got a big alumni base. They'll find the money.
Yeah, they probably. Saving money, not having to put a whole bunch of money into the gymnastics program anymore.
Oregon 38, Oregon State 29. My reasoning that Oregon State lost this one will always be that since they were already eliminated from the Pac-12 North, Oregon State did not care as much.
This one got chippy.
Dude, the Civil War always gets chippy.
It got real chippy late. It was fun to watch. A successful onside kick in this one gave Oregon State a fighting chance, but good game.
It was a good game. Virginia Tech 29, Virginia 24. This is weird. This game's always weird.
Yeah.
Not too much to say. Virginia's really beat up.
Yep. They didn't score at the high rate that my money said that they would. So on to the next one.
Tennessee 45, Vanderbilt 21. Congratulations, Tennessee. You didn't lose to Vanderbilt. I'd actually call this a pretty successful season for Tennessee.
Yeah, I would too. Hate to see it.
Yeah, I do hate to see that. They're a fun team, and I hate that. Louisiana, Lafayette, 21. Louisiana, Monroe, 16. Surprisingly competitive. Watch out for Monroe.
Watch out for Louisiana Monroe next year. I'm saying it now.
Unless, so their head coach, good head coach, their offensive coordinator is fucking Rich Rod.
Yeah.
He could bounce anywhere. But if they stay intact, watch out.
Yeah, if they stay intact, watch out. More importantly, watch out for Boogie Knight.
Yeah.
That kid's a baller, dude.
Kid's good. Kid's good,
Also
dude.
white. I was surprised. I was surprised to find out the Boogie White Knight was a white child. He's a bona fide white child.
I think his parents just really liked the movie.
Dude. And why wouldn't they? It's a great film.
It's a great.
It's my favorite P.T. Anderson movie, hands down. I even still love it when it gets super dark at the end.
It might be my favorite. It's one of my favorite friggin' Wahlberg movies.
It's honestly probably in my top 3 like favorite movies of all time.
It's really good. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out. Go watch fucking Boogie Nights this weekend. Damn it. Do it.
And go watch White Child Boogie Night in Monroe, Louisiana next season.
Hell fucking yes. Arizona State 38, Arizona 15.
Arizona. Kind of wish you had covered there. Kind of looked like you were. Kind of fell apart at the end.
A little bit. Expect that though out of Arizona. Tulsa 34, SMU 31. Get yourself a Golden Hurricane, folks.
Just plug in the fans. Here they come. SMU fell apart at the end there.
Yeah, they really did. Not a good look for SMU. But guess what? It's kind of understandable because we'll talk about that in a little bit. Their coach is gone.
Yep.
Minnesota 23, Wisconsin 13. PJ flecked all over fucking Wisconsin. They get the axe. This is speaking of Big Ten games. This is a Big Ten game.
Yeah, I think the people of Iowa owe PJ a fucking Mercury outboard for the boat so he doesn't have to do so much rowing anymore because he just did them a solid.
He did them a huge solid. LSU 27, Texas A&M 24. Coach O goes out on top, baby.
And he does it to Texas A&M. He Kevin Sumlin's Jimbo Fisher literally turns Jimbo Fisher into just Kevin Sumlin.
So literally, I saw a post on Twitter. It was they have the exact Kevin Sumlin and Jimbo Fisher have the exact same record. They both beat Alabama once.
Yeah,
nothing has changed except Texas A&M is paying this coach $1 bajillion a year.
Well, one thing has changed.
I mean, Texas A&M, yeah, it makes sense. Also, Coach O, he went out on top. We actually have a kind of wraparound with the Boogie Nights thing and everything. We have a couple clips for you guys. Here you go. Here's the first one. Here's Coach O leaving his last conference at LSU.
I felt it, man. I want to say this to y'all. Man, hey, 6 years, man. You've been fair to me. I love y'all. Been good, man. Y'all, hey, I look forward to meeting with you guys. Every one of you guys have been fair to me, man. I'm always going to be around. And if you come to Destin, we got a little suntan lotion for you boys. Go Tigers. Come on, baby, let's go. See y'all later.
Thank you, Coach O.
Did he just leave with Carrie Underwood?
I was gonna say, if you're just listening to the audio version, when Coach O is leaving, the person he says, "Come on, baby, let's go," to is this like Bombshell Blonde?
It's
his girlfriend.
Believe in the hip hop realm, she's known as a dime piece.
I think there was a couple.
Go.
There was a couple like leaked pictures after his divorce of like him and this woman.
Yeah,
Coach O's living the life.
Yeah, he is. Like, don't feel sad for Coach O. Coach O literally has accomplished all of his dreams in life. He literally has accomplished every single dream in his life.
Yeah.
He always wanted to go to LSU. He always wanted to win a national championship. He wanted to be the head coach at LSU winning a national championship. He did it all. He's going out a winner with a dime piece who may be a Nashville starlet.
He's going to like
tucked under his wing.
He's going to start like a successful like crawfish restaurant. He's just going to like live his life.
Did you ever think a man who has like the skin of like a hot dog on a roller at a 7-Eleven who sounds like a bullfrog could do all this?
I mean, have you seen this man eat gumbo? He's eating that pussy like a fucking pro.
Jeez, he's getting in there. He's not spilling a drop. God,
he's not spilling a fucking drop.
LSU is a rival, and I can't think of any other coach of my rivals where I'm like, that guy fucking rules. That guy fucking rules so hard.
I love Coach O so fucking much, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like, God damn it. Like, how do you leave in just the most awesome way possible? That was amazing.
It's fucking amazing. And to bring it back, here's Boogie Nights. Here's the speech from Boogie Nights.
I think it inspired this. Yeah, this inspired Coach O.
I guess the only thing I can say is I'll promise to keep rocking and rolling and making better films. You know, it seems we make these movies, and sometimes, you know, they're considered filthy or something by some people. But I don't think that's true. These movies we make, they can be better. They can help, they really can, I mean that. We can always do better. I'm gonna keep trying if you guys keep trying. Let's keep rocking and rolling, man.
Just perfect. This was he inspired Coach O's life, except the Cajun version.
That actually might be a peak in the future whenever him and that hot piece of Sliz start their own OnlyFans and win a couple AVN awards next year.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that. Honestly, I'll pay Coach O.
Yeah, I gotta see that. God bless you, Coach O. God, just enjoy your life. Just enjoy riding off in the sunset. The only thing you haven't accomplished yet is being sucked to death. And I think that might happen.
It very well might. And I'm going to leave this game off with just laughing at Texas A&M because nothing has changed and they're just paying more money. It is fucking hilarious.
Yep. You're just going in the same next season with the same, nothing. Just an empty jar. Just an empty jar for a bunch of boys and fucking overalls to fill together. And super weird tradition.
Middle Tennessee 27, Florida Atlantic 17. Good job, Middle Tennessee.
There you go.
Good job.
Way to go.
West Virginia 34, Kansas 28. Kansas getting the last half of the season have been plucky as fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I kind of thought they were gonna pull this out, especially since the game wasn't in Morgantown. I mean, Lance Leipold.
He's watch out.
Make sure 3 wins.
Maybe next year.
Maybe 6.
You know what? I was gonna say I might just go fucking insane and bet Kansas to go to a bowl game.
I'll go to the fucking loony bin with you, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck it. Clemson 30, South Carolina 0. Guess what? We all saw this coming. South Carolina is really bad.
I didn't. I liked South Carolina on the money line. I'd hit on them the week before. I thought that they were kind of rounding into form.
They were streaking.
I was wrong.
I mean, South Carolina was on a winning streak of what? Florida and Auburn.
SEC just means more,
True.
Those games mean more.
It's true, but those are two pretty down swinging teams.
Those wins count as like 1.25.
That's fair. I still think this is a pretty successful end of the season to South Carolina, all things considered.
Yeah, absolutely. They were terrible. They literally pulled a kid who was like a graduate assistant to play quarterback for them.
They had such fucky shit on offense.
They Bobby Boucher'd that shit into the Bourbon Bowl.
Yeah. You know what? We'll do this one. I was gonna skip it just to say fuck with Beho, but here it is. Kentucky 52, Louisville 21. Good job, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Louisville was looking good too. Louisville was looking like a good fucking team, and they dick stomped them.
I also picked Louisville to piss off Beho, and mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished on that.
Mission accomplished.
Definitely worked.
The whole Howard clan, and it's just, I mean, Liz, I think his youngest daughter actually told me to suck her dick from the back.
I think she did.
Literally how that went.
Kentucky.
I love but I do kind of love how he threw all sorts of shit at Louisville, was just really rubbing it in. And then today they're like, oh, by the way, Scott Satterfield's dad died right before the game.
Also, maybe Mr. Stoops might be looking for another job somewhere. Who knows?
I think he jumped ship. I think he goes. I think he goes somewhere. I think he goes somewhere.
Do you think he goes to the one everyone's going to think he would go to?
Do they stoop to that level again? You see what I did there? That was
a little bit of connection right there. Who knows? We will speculate a lot.
Yes, we will
when we get to that part. Pitt 31, Syracuse 14. Good job, Pitt. You could have pitted this game, but you did not pit.
Good job, me, for not trying to ride the Syracuse train yet again.
Yeah, I did it last week, and that was raw.
That was really bad. That was really bad for us. Yes,
Dino Babers is in such a weird spot.
He is. I don't think he gets fired.
I don't think he does either, but it seems to be what he's been doing these last couple of years. He's does just enough to not get fired.
That's what most people do at most jobs.
And that's fair. And if you're Syracuse, what can you really expect most years?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Boeheim can't coach them both.
Exactly.
He doesn't have enough semen to produce most of a football team like he did with the basketball team.
Yeah.
Yes.
He can't do it. Oklahoma State 37, Oklahoma 33. So I was talking with a couple people. I would say for the majority of the public, there was like 3 games everyone watched. I would say everyone watched the game, the Michigan-Ohio State game, and then everyone watched the Iron Bowl, and everyone watched Bedlam. And if you did just that, honestly, you watched 3 of the most entertaining games of the whole fucking year.
Oh, man. Oh, let's see the comments. We got one coming up.
We got one
YouTube.
from Aaron. He's a big Oklahoma fan. He's not loving life right now.
Yeah, get the tissues and find some soothing sounds. Maybe take a bath because we're definitely going to be talking Bedlam in this situation.
This game was fucking amazing.
I feel for you, kind of. Not really. I feel-ish. I
don't.
feel-ish for you.
Nope.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't at all. Sorry. I want to be nice because you left a comment.
No.
But yeah. So first of all, crazy game. Just
this game had everything
normal about that game. It was
nothing.
Great.
Nothing normal happened. There was a safety. There was a fucking punt block. There was everything. A drop punt.
Yeah, there was like an illegal kick out of bounds after like a after a lateral. There was so much electricity and noise in that stadium that it did one of my favorite things in college football, which is it gets so loud that the actual cameras are like vibrating.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
I love that so fucking much. There was like 3 holding calls in a row.
Yeah,
on like each team.
Yes, that there. Yeah, there was if Caleb Williams breaks that tackle and actually gets his leg out, who knows? Oklahoma maybe wins that game.
Who fucking knows, dude? There was a lot of back. This is a super back and forth game, extremely entertaining. And if you want my like main takeaway, my main takeaway, it was nice not to see Oklahoma get calls. Like we talked about this when we talked about like when Oklahoma and Texas left the Big 12. We discussed it, and I think you specifically brought it up. That's like, hey, guess what? Oklahoma, those calls you usually get when it comes to a big crunch time game to send you to the conference championship game, you're not getting those calls this year. They ain't happening.
Yeah, dude. It was. Whew.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That sucks.
Exactly.
That
It sucks.
Maybe you shouldn't have taken your rival in a coup to leave the conference high and dry. You had people whose jobs were in jeopardy that really.
Those refs aren't unbiased. Those refs aren't unbiased.
They're not. They. I mean, this is late stage capitalism. They're taking care of themselves. Man,
yeah,
holy shit! Oh no, my swoosh.
Oh, what is up with your swoosh?
Its swoosh is no longer.
Oh Jesus!
Ah! For the brand. Oh, fell back. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. I think Oklahoma State is the most dangerous team in America, and I think that if they end up in the playoff, they could make it to the championship game.
Honestly, depending on where they beat, what the best championship scenario, and I think one of the most fun championship scenarios, and it's gross to kind of say, it might be Michigan, Oklahoma State. That would be a really fun game, dude.
That would be a really fun game. I think there's another big takeaway from this game also, which is all season long, Oklahoma State's been doing it with defense. They just proved that they can go out and they can old school Oklahoma State like.
Well, they're the last 3 weeks
running up and down the field.
The last 3 weeks, their offense has been looking better and better, but their defense, like consistently all season, has been fucking good.
Salty, high sodium. They're like a payday bar. They're so salty.
I might, you know what? After this show, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sprinkle some on Oklahoma State. Fuck it.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck it.
I say go for it. I say you're gonna get like 20-1 at least.
I'll look up the odds here in a little bit when we talk about these other games. Mm-hmm. Memphis 33, Tulane 28. By the way, this one was a game like the entire way through.
Just a battle of grimy cities. R.I.P. Young Dolph. They either win this or they win the fight afterwards.
That's how Memphis do. That's how they fucking do, mate. Where are we going? Notre Dame 45, Stanford 14. Notre Dame. I mean, you kind of wish if you were a Notre Dame fan, you wish you had a more marquee game as your last game of the season to kind of like give you that boost to like, hey, guess what? We're a good fucking team. We played this other really good team and beat them, but you played Stanford.
Yeah, and I mean they lost one game, but let's be honest, their schedule was dog shit this season, just absolute dog shit.
Notre Dame's.
Yeah,
I mean,
they could sneak in, but they don't deserve to be there.
Yeah, their schedule was dog shit, but I'm not gonna. It sucks because a lot of those games were supposed to be like, you can't really plan for USC to be as bad as they were, and everyone kind of thought North Carolina was gonna be way better.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's fair.
it sucks. That's how the fucking cookie crumbles. Notre Dame. And if you weren't Notre Dame, I would feel bad for you. But you are, so I don't. That's Notre Dame gets the benefit of the doubt so fucking often. I just don't feel bad for them.
You just said everything I say under my breath in this house.
I will be your voice, Chase.
You're my hate translator. I appreciate it.
Nevada 52, Colorado State 10. Holy shit. Nevada, like their offense decided to show off in this game.
Yeah, they did. They were a good team. I know you were high on them. God, I'm already excited for Mountain Best football in 2022.
Oh, plus 1,400 on Oklahoma State, by the way, right now.
Oh, get it.
Here are the odds. Here are your odds but we'll just pause it real quick. Actually, let's go through these real quick. We only have two other games. UCLA 42, Cal 14. This one was kind of rough to watch. UCLA just kind of bullied them. And then BYU 35, USC 31. USC gave up on the season.
Yeah, but they still kind of bowed their necks for this one. BYU, the best team in the Pac-12 South.
Honestly, they could be the second or third best team in the Pac-12. They beat Utah straight up.
They could win the Pac-12 this year.
They very well could.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the odds for the college football playoffs right now. Number one, Georgia is minus 220.
Okay.
Which is okay. Alabama is plus 650 still, to go to your point that they're going to try and put Alabama in, but I still don't. I think those are terrible odds. Michigan is plus 750. Cincinnati is plus 1,200. Oklahoma State is plus 1,400. Notre Dame is plus 2,500. And I don't think there's a chance for any of these other teams to get in.
I honestly sprinkle on Oklahoma State and Michigan at that point.
I probably sprinkle on those two. Because after that, like, it's Iowa, Mississippi, Ohio State, Oregon, Pittsburgh, Baylor, Oklahoma. And, like, a lot of weird shit has to happen for those teams to even
for any of those
to get a look.
There's simply not enough football games left to be played with it being championship week for most of those teams.
Like Iowa, in my opinion, Iowa was out when they got dick stomped by Purdue. You can lose a game, you cannot get stomped by Purdue.
Yeah, I mean that. Ohio State proved that. Like that was a key factor, was a Purdue loss for Ohio State a couple of years ago.
If they would have lost to Purdue by 10, that's fine, but you cannot get stomped by Purdue. That's just it's an automatic.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, I think the best bang for your buck here are Michigan and Oklahoma State. Yeah, Cincinnati, I would like if they were like plus 2,000
on both of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit on both of them. That'll do it for like this last week of college football. What a fucking crazy week! What a crazy end to a crazy season.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. God, I'm hoping that the crazy extends for one more week.
I hope so too. I mean, I don't know. I just hope the games are good in conference championship. I just hope they're good games.
So I'm just gonna let's
talk about the playoff like scenario or whatever for like a quick second before we go into the coaching carousel. We could expunge about the playoffs forever.
Yes. So I'm just going to say that if you look at Nick Saban's record against his own previous assistants, which Kirby Smart at Georgia,
he only has one loss, I think, right? And that was Jimbo this year.
Yeah. This is the only time. Yeah, he is just not something that he does. He always has them fired up. He's going to be politicking to get them in, even with 2 losses. But he's going to be prepared for this game. I could 100% see a world where they go into it 1-2, and Alabama somehow pulls out against Georgia. I can see a world, but I also think that Georgia is your most logical winner. I think Georgia is your most logical winner there, and I really kind of. I'm counting on my crazy to happen at the bottom of the at the 3-4 spot.
I think the Georgia-Alabama game, I think it really just comes down to like Georgia's defensive line is just so much better than Alabama's offensive line this year.
Yeah.
Alabama's offensive line is not that great.
Yeah. So we have history. We have history with, his past assistants not beating him, but you also have the big glaring fact of Alabama has not played well when they can't establish what is not an Alabama run game. It's a fairly weak run game by Alabama standards. And that Georgia defense, there's no way that they're going to actually establish that run. It's going to be up to Bryce Young to just be like running. Like Bryce Young is going to have to play the game of his life to beat Georgia.
And like as good as Bryce Young is, and I think he's really good, he's still a freshman.
And these are going to be some probably the most complex defensive schemes that he's ever faced at Georgia. Because let's face the facts that Kirby Smart is a brilliant tactician when it comes to defense because he learned from the fucking master.
Yeah, it's true. So, okay, let's do it. Let's go through real quick. Let's just pick our conference winners. Let's pick who we think is going to win. So Friday we have Western Kentucky at UTSA.
Meeps.
I'm going to go Meeps as well. I've been on them all season. I'm not getting off now. Oregon versus Utah in Las Vegas. I still got to go Utah, dude.
I don't think they can beat him twice. I'm going to go Oregon.
That's fair. And you have Oregon on our giant mega
preview. There are ulterior motives here. There are ulterior motives.
The way that Utah just stomped, I'm going to go Utah. Kent State versus Northern Illinois. I think Northern Illinois' luck is run up. I'm going to go Kent State.
Get low with it. Get loose with it. If you a skinny bitch, let Bruce hit it.
Neutral site in Detroit, Michigan, by the way, which makes it even more heartbreaking that there's not a directional Mich school here.
You might be able to catch an actual like Bruce show right after.
You might be able to. Baylor, Oklahoma State.
OK State.
Yeah, OK State for me. Utah State, San Diego State. I'm gonna go SDSU.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm riding that golden leg.
App State, Louisiana.
This is a banger matchup.
This is a good game.
I'm going to go
Louisiana.
I'm going to go App State.
Okay.
Billy Napier's already. I mean,
that's true. He does have one foot out the door.
Yep. Hard to coach when you got one foot out the door. So I'm going to go App State.
It almost makes you want to change. I know I picked Louisiana at the start of the season. I'm still going to go Louisiana. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm going to go Louisiana. I'm staying with them. Georgia, Alabama.
Bama.
I'm going to go Georgia. I think this game comes down to the offensive and defensive lines, and I think Georgia owns both of them.
Okay. Do you know how much money is in it for the SEC? Because if they get two teams in,
SEC is very much incentivized for Alabama to win.
So Georgia's going to have to beat Alabama. They have to beat
and the refs.
Nick Saban history. They're going to have to beat the refs. They're going to have to beat the conference, and that's a lot to overcome. If it's a straight up game, I think it's Georgia, but I think that all those things playing into it, I'm going to give Alabama the chance. I think they can do it.
I think the Georgia defense is so much better that I think they can overcome.
I think they might be the best.
I think they can overcome all of that. That's how good I think they are.
Okay, I mean that's fair. But I'm just going to say, like, if I'm going to take the shot, then I'm going to take the shot. I'm taking the shot.
That's fair. You're also taking a shot on this one. It's Houston, Cincinnati.
Houston is going to beat the fucking brakes off of Cincy. Are you shitting me?
I'm taking Cincy every day.
If they, dude. If Houston doesn't just choke in the first game of the year, we might be talking about them for the playoff. They are a good fucking
If Houston
team.
was undefeated going into this would be like a playoff matchup, I feel.
I think so. I think
it's disrespectful that they are ranked as low as they are.
It is, but they're doing it to spite Cincy so they can pull the rug out from under them. But you know what? They don't need to because fucking Bigger and McCracken and Houston's going to get it done.
I think Cincy wins this one. Iowa, Michigan. I'm on Michigan.
Michigan. Well, hold on.
It's weird.
How embarrassing would a loss to Iowa be?
It'd be very embarrassing.
Iowa.
Okay, that's fair. Iowa's offense, I cannot trust.
No, they're god awful.
Pitt, Wake Forest. This is a good game here. I'm gonna go Pitt though.
I want a cake for Wake.
Okay, I would love either winner in this match.
I don't want you to win your conference bet. So
I mean that's fair too.
I want to be the winner of that
motives, but I've also
thing.
been on the Kenny Pickett train literally all fucking season, so I'm still going with Pitt.
It's literally a toss up. It's if I didn't have ulterior motives, it's still a toss up, and I would.
And then for a non-conference game, that's the last game of the season. It's USC California.
Well, was this a COVID move?
Yeah, this is the COVID move.
Cal.
I'm gonna go Cal too. Although Cal's not really playing for anything anymore because they're not bowl eligible. Sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Cal as well.
Oh, and go Navy, beat Army.
Yep, definitely go Navy, beat Army. We're both on that. Let's go through the fucking coaching openings and just like the different. I have this list right here, all the different like coaching stuff right now. So we'll just go through this one at a time.
Mhm.
LSU, Ed Orgeron's out. They don't have anyone lined up right now. It looks like so. Here are the ones that this website. I'm not gonna. It's SI, so fuck SI. But here's what they have as like their potential. Kiffin, Dave Aranda, Mel Tucker, and Jimbo Fisher.
All right, I strike Kiffin, strike Jimbo, because there has to be clauses in both of those contracts that makes it so financially impossible.
You probably got to strike Mel Tucker then because he just signed a brand new contract.
Oh yeah, well I mean yes,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying like conference, being conference specific, there have to be things like they've learned
Oh.
from Houston Nutt and the golden parachute
I mean,
that he
yeah,
got to Ole Miss.
they probably do have to have like clauses against that.
The buyouts have to be astronomical and just financially prohibitive.
Because like those aren't just like in conference, those are in division.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he was making a jump from the east the east to the west, I could see it.
West to west is a little
Yeah, it's unless you get shit canned out of your current job, there's no way.
Dave Aranda's the interesting one to me.
Where's Dave Aranda?
He's at Baylor right now, but he was the defensive coordinator at LSU for a while.
I'm gonna throw out a name, Mark Stoops. Coming
Yeah.
from east to west.
Yeah, he's got a proven track record at Kentucky. He knows he can obviously recruit the SEC.
Yes. He's got a fun, exciting offense, which except for when Joe Brady was there, they have not had. Like I think
he checks
a lot
of boxes.
He checks a lot of boxes, and his name is going to be on a lot of lists.
I think so too, especially with Napier being out and going to Florida.
I kind of figured that's where they would go.
So he's on this list as well, and I think it would have been a natural fit. But I think like Florida's such an enticing job too. It's hard.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean it is. I wouldn't want to go to Florida because I think
I
Florida.
wouldn't either.
I honestly, hot take. Florida is Tennessee with better in-state recruiting.
I'd argue they have a little bit better history, but that's about it.
True, but they also have. I mean, they've always had a better recruiting base.
That's also true. That's true. They are. I mean, yeah, it's a good. I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised Napier takes that job, and honestly, like I feel like Florida has a really just skewed perception of themselves.
I think Urban Meyer kind of fucked them up.
Yeah, Spurrier like barely separated. Like when you had like a Spurrier, like to Urban Meyer separated by a Zook, like that. When you hit home runs 2 out of 3 and win national championships, really kind of fucks up.
It's kind of the Ohio State like thing where they just kind of seem to be hitting coaching hires out of the fucking park left and every time.
Yeah,
you can't. That every school can't do that.
Yeah, I think it's good that Florida went from a like a Sun Belt team into an SEC job. I think the move for them should have been to go from like a smaller conference or from a good coordinator, a really good coordinator.
Honestly, I'm still like they were in the conference championship game last year.
Weird year though.
Weird year, but like they've been competing for the division like the other 2 years, weren't they? Like 2019, they were pretty good.
I think what happened was Dan Mullen just never landed a Dak Prescott.
I think that's true, and I think like
he's got to have that dude running his offense.
If he's not winning, his personality seems like it's really hard.
He's a real abrasive dick.
Yeah,
really, like he's a dick wrapped in sandpaper. He is an abrasive, like big grit.
Yeah. Real bad. LSU, huge opening. There's so like huge opening.
Here's a name. Give
it to me.
Joe Brady.
Yeah, the people would love it.
Didn't he do some work as a recruiting coordinator also?
Yeah,
while he was doing like the passing coordinator stuff. We know he can recruit. We know he's like they would love to reunite like that. He's not going to have any sort of like prohibitive like college rivalry buyout. Like he's coming from the NFL. That's a home
it-
run hire. That is a home run
really
hire
good
if
hire.
LSU
That's a
can get
really
it.
good hire. Holy fuck, that'd be really good.
LSU search committee, I'll be awaiting your call.
Up next, I think that Joe Brady's the best one. USC, Clay Helton out. They just announced today Lincoln Riley in. I mean, that's a great fucking hire for USC. I'm not gonna say.
And I'm sorry to Aaron J if he's still there. I don't understand if he's not, but tell me you don't think OU can compete in the SEC without telling me you don't think OU can compete in the SEC, Lincoln Riley.
I think it's a combination of things. I think he doesn't want to deal with the SEC bullshit. Because I think like if Oklahoma stayed at the level they are, they like compete is a strong word, but they could be like a top 5, top 6 team in the SEC.
Do you think they? All right. So do you think that they have this kind of like OU hero worship thing going, where it's kind of like Wisconsin, where anybody who's not Barry Alvarez, like, is never going to be the perfect person for that fan base? You know what I mean? Anyone who wasn't Barry Alvarez and didn't coach for Barry Alvarez, whatever. Like, I don't know. It seems like I feel like, Bob Stoops probably had to deal with that with Lincoln Riley, and then he won a natty. And then, I feel like Lincoln Riley probably has to like live, deal with the bullshit of like, well, Bob Stoops had won a national championship by this. And then I can understand just throwing up your hands and be like, all right, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah. And then like in your mind, if you're Lincoln Riley, like coaches sometimes want to, like, maybe he's seen, like, maybe that is the ceiling he can do at Oklahoma. Maybe that's what he thinks is like, yeah, I can make the playoffs at Oklahoma, but at USC, guess what? You're going to be like, if you can have the Lincoln Riley offense at USC, that's going to be very attractive to a lot of players. You're going to be able to keep players in California.
Yeah. That's the big thing is if you're USC, you have to basically have to keep people from going to Nike University. You have to keep people from going to Oregon, it seems like, because that's where.
But you also have to keep people from like going east and going to like
Alabama. You have to keep
Clemson.
Bryce Young in Southern California. You have to keep there are a lot of Southern California kids who have left.
But guess what? If you're getting like all of a sudden you're in a Lincoln Riley offense that's produced 2 Heismans and 2 overall first draft picks.
Yeah,
that's very enticing.
You know who hates this hire? His name sounds like a weak ejaculation.
I bet it's Chip Kelly.
It's Chip Kelly.
Yeah, it does fuck him up. So here's Aaron's take.
Royally.
Aaron J. Not sure what he was thinking, but we'll need to find someone who knows how to recruit and build. Yeah,
pretty much. This is another one where I don't know. Like, do they stoop worship to a level that they take Mark Stoops? I'm going to tie Mark Stoops to every single coaching job, by the way.
Here's how. Oh, this is a weird one. An early name running for the Oklahoma job, because it's right under USC. An early name running for the Oklahoma job. Guess. It's not Mark Stoops. It's another Oklahoma tie though, because people just love to fucking tie, like Oklahoma like school ties to people.
Marcus Dupree.
No, it's from a school you do not like.
Oh, Jimbo Fisher?
Nope.
Brian Harsin.
Josh Heupel. Tennessee.
That makes sense. Hey, man.
If high-powered offense.
Dude, if I'm Heupel, I'll Lane Kiffin the fuck out of there. I eat a mushroom and I Super Mario out of that bitch.
Yeah, if I'm Josh Heupel, I get the fuck out of Tennessee and go to OU, dude. I don't know if that's like the best hire though. It's like he's got a great high-powered offense. He seems to be doing a lot with his quarterback at Tennessee. It might not be the worst hire. I don't know.
You know what? You're changing conferences, and you're changing the conference to places where it seems like the defense actually matters. And actually, Aaron J here just brought up a really good name.
Venables.
This is the point that I was going to make, is that maybe you go defensive coach, and maybe this is the job that Brent Venables actually will leave Dabo for.
He's got like Stoops ties, doesn't he? A little bit.
I think so. Venables, that's a good call. I actually think Venables be good. I think they do need to go defensive coach though.
Do you think they're powerful enough to like take within conference, and maybe they can go for after like a Dave Aranda or someone like that?
I just don't know. It's such a weird situation. It's weird situation that I just don't know. But I do think Aaron here is definitely onto something.
I also like your Stoops thing about like being defensively minded. He's not too bad on defense most of the time.
That's a good point.
Yep. Just put him for everything. Next up, it's Florida. Dan Mullen's out. Billy Napier's in. I think this is a great hire. He's been good at Louisiana for a long time. He knows the Southeast.
Yeah, he does. Still, I kind of feel like LSU missed a pretty good opportunity. Unless they can get someone like Joe Brady, that would be amazing. But
yeah, I think he would be a better fit at LSU.
Yeah, I mean it's a good hire. You kind of worry that in a state with like Miami and with Florida State that him rolling in with not like a whole bunch of name recognition might hurt him, but I'm not sure if that really even plays into it.
True, but I think the fact that both those programs are still like down right now, and Florida, like I still think Florida's the best positioned out of those three.
Oh yeah, they have by far the most healthy in-state recruiting. Like that state produces more D1 talent than anywhere else. You've got the other two programs that you're competing with are really down.
Like we don't know what's going to be like what's really going to be happening at Miami. Like we don't know if they could be he's up in the air, dude.
Yeah, he is. Oh, by the way, all right. So I was reading this week about the whole Kiffin to Miami thing. Like if that job opens up, he'll take it. Do you know who that rumor came from?
Was it Kiffin?
No, it was Nevin Shapiro. Do you know who Nevin Shapiro is? Do you?
No.
He's the booster that like brought down Miami that went to prison for a fucking Ponzi scheme. Like he from his federal like jail cell was like, hey, Kiffin says he's coming. Kiffin ain't calling you in prison. He's not putting money on your commissary. He's not buying you a honey bun and a wave cap. Shut the fuck up.
Lane Kiffin is going to be linked to every fucking job on the planet, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome, and he's going to fuck with us so hard.
Good. I think Billy Napier's a good hire. Virginia Tech, Justin Fuente is fucking out of there.
Yeah.
Out of that shit.
I don't even know who a good hire would be there, honestly. It's hard to find people with Virginia ties, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the Virginia Tech is one of those jobs that you kind of need to know the area because a lot of your best because it's an undertapped area.
Yeah. You have to be able to recruit the that low country where with like Newport News, Hampton Roads, like that is a rich talent pool. That's where Bruce Smith came out of. That's where Allen Iverson came out of. That's where that's a lot. And plus you got the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia, St. George County, or sorry, was it Prince George County, PG County. Like there's a lot of talent there. So I feel you really need someone who's like from there who can really kind of negotiate that.
Do they go kind of wild with it and reach down to the FCS and like Kurt Signetti is a great coach at JMU, and that's the area. That's not a terrible one. I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly, I think if you can keep local ties, that's a good coach. I literally don't really know a whole lot about JMU other than like Game Day's been there a couple times and they're a really good FCS program. But yeah, I mean, if he fits regionally, I think that might be a good fit.
So it's a regional fit. Like he started his coaching career at Pittsburgh, and he's been in a bunch of like sort of East Coast jobs. He was at Rice for a little bit, Temple, NC State. He was wide receivers coach at Alabama from 2007 to 2010. And then
one thing's for certain is that whoever they hire at Virginia Tech, we're not going to go. The world's not going to stand up and notice. Like really. You have a good chance to make a pretty inexpensive, smart hire.
So here's an interesting one. So TCU fired Gary Patterson. I'm going to say fired. It was a mutually whatever.
Yeah.
And Sonny Dykes is in right now from SMU. I think that's a really good hire. But does Sonny Dykes skip TCU? Does Oklahoma look for someone like Sonny Dykes that has like strong Texas ties?
I've heard that too. If you are Oklahoma, you have to recruit Texas because Oklahoma honestly doesn't Oklahoma's got a lot of talent in it, but it doesn't produce that much talent.
They're like a Texas and then national recruiter.
Yeah, like Oklahoma City, Tulsa area, you produce a good amount of talent. Like they recruit like Las Vegas really well, and they recruit Texas really well.
Yes.
You got. I do think you have to get someone maybe with Texas ties.
So like Sonny Dykes he's one of the guys that has Texas.
Yeah.
And he's like good offensive mind. I don't know.
I just had a name pop up for OU if they do go offensive coach.
Ooh, go with it.
Dana Holgerson.
Ooh.
Look at what he did at West Virginia.
I was gonna say that, like, the
He's
end of his
stayed-
the end of his West Virginia tenure looks not great though.
But he just boned out to go to Texas, where he has ties.
It's true. It's true.
And look at what he's done at Houston.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
No, one more. I got one more. Mike Leach. I'm just gonna leave that. It's
Yeah.
bring him home. Bring him home, baby. Bring Mike Leach home. Washington. Jimmy Lake is gone. I have no idea. For this Washington job.
What I hear is it's like Chris Peterson is pretty much going to handpick whoever this is.
They probably should. They kind of like. Did it feel like to you that he kind of got like strong armed out a little bit with Jimmy Lake?
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Washington. It's in Seattle. Who knows if he's going to be? Yeah. Who knows if he's going to be in the NFL next season? Pete Carroll.
Honestly, fuck it. Bring him back to college. He seems to like always have a strong start before he peters off. Fuck it.
Yeah. Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll could.
Oh, you know who?
If he wants to do it, he's very old. We don't realize how old he is.
Old.
He's youthful. Old. He's youthful, but he's very old.
He's very old.
He's like Mac Brown old.
Man, I don't know. Maybe you take like who's Fresno's head coach?
Don't you fucking dare.
They do
you get
it.
that name out of your mouth.
They do it.
Shut up.
Brady Hoke, San Diego State up to Washington.
That would fit
honestly,
too.
If he's not at a place like Michigan, he could be a decent coach.
That's a home run hire.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to get the scent off of Fresno?
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck you.
Okay. Like last bit of Oklahoma. Last bit. I saw some people saying like Kingsbury.
Yeah, that they are targeting Kingsbury.
Why would he ever leave the NFL? He's doing so much better in the NFL than he did in college.
How long does that last? He
has Kyler Murray, I think.
Yeah, but his how much longer is on Kyler's rookie deal?
A few years, I think, like 2 or 3.
Right. What happens if Kyler gets injured next year, and then you have like a 5-12 season?
They did all right with Colt McCoy for a couple games, and that's like Colt McCoy.
Okay,
but no, and that's Colt McCoy. Like they'll get a better quarterback than that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying from a stability standpoint, you're probably in a more stable position if you move to OU from the Arizona Cardinals.
I also don't know how good he is as a recruiter though. Because he was never like, I mean, he was at Texas Tech, so you never know.
It's too bad he's not like a ladies volleyball coach, because I think he would crush recruiting.
I think he would crush
Coach McDreamy.
Washington State, Nick Rolovich is out, and he's not getting hired anytime soon anywhere.
Nope.
And yeah, interim coach Jack Dickert is in. I think it's a great fucking move.
Dickert the kicker. Let's
Dickert
go.
the kicker, the coach. The fact that they like rallied around when their like entire coaching staff got let go.
Yeah, for dumb reasons.
Almost won the Pac-12 North. Good on them. Good on you, Jack Dickert.
Yeah, good for him. I hope you. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. Washington State's one of those teams that it's fun when they're good. So, dude, you coached your balls off. You earned the right to get the tag taken off. So just ball out next year. Let's see it.
We got some other weird ones in here. Texas Tech, Matt Wells is done. Gonzo out. Joey McGuire is in. This is basically just he's a Baylor associate head coach, and this guy's like a Texas high school legend. So he just knows Texas, which great.
Texas high school legends have made that leap before, and I would think that having deep ties to anywhere in Texas, especially when you're stuck in fucking Lubbock, is gonna be good. Yeah, go.
I like
for you.
the hire.
Yeah.
Duke, David Cutcliffe is out. Who fucking knows? Who's going to go to Duke, dude?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know who's going to Duke.
Daniel Jones? I don't think he's going to be on a football team next year.
Head coach Daniel Jones. Oh. Maybe they go for a Mac guy.
Okay.
I don't know. That's all I know about
that.
Yeah,
it's so hard to speculate about the Duke job. Yeah.
SMU, Sonny Dykes is out. In is Rhett Lashley. Guess what? Another fucking he's leaving Miami's OC. He's
a Gus Malzahn disciple was touchdown Rhett Lashley at Shiloh Christian in Springdale, Arkansas. Let's go, Rhett Lashley. I'll overlook that Malzahn thing. Arkansas, we're quietly taking over the world.
There we go. Arkansas taking over the world. Troy, Chip Lindsey, head coach of Troy, is out.
Sad. He's been there a while, hasn't he?
He's a 15-19 record. So he's been there for like
2 years.
Couple years. Because the old Troy head coach was at Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Jeff Collins.
That can be such a good job. That's such a good
it could be a really good job.
Alabama, you want to talk about even with Auburn and University of Alabama, especially with them recruiting at a national scale, there's so much like spillover that people miss. You have to have someone who knows how to develop players. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be any sort of like fallen superstar like you saw Clay Helton or anything.
They
like
might be
that.
able to get like, since they're in the Sun Belt, maybe they can grab like a CUSA guy. But it's so hard to determine and like predict especially with all this new conference realignment coming up too.
Yeah, this feels like a program where you take a coordinator. You take a coordinator.
I think so.
Yeah, and then you hope he turns into a good head coach, and then if he does turn into a good head coach, you hope you can hold on to him as long as possible.
I think that's a good way to say it. I like that. Akron, Tom Arth is out. Who fucking knows? It looks like right here, speculation, former Zip quarterback Charlie Fry.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yep.
Charlie Fry. I remember Charlie Fry.
He's a high school coach in Ohio, which guess what? That's fine. That's
Perfect.
good.
Perfect. Yeah, Charlie Fry. Boom. Problem solved.
Solidly good hire. UConn fires Randy Edsel, gets Jim Mora. For UConn?
Jim Mora Jr., right?
Yes, Jim Mora Jr.
Not diddly poo Jim Mora.
Not diddly poo, no. Jim Mora Jr. I think for
playoffs.
For UConn, this is a good fucking team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a good hire.
It's a good hire. It's a name that people who know professional football know. And I feel like in the Northeast, that probably goes a little bit further than being, some like stud, like Texas coordinator.
Guess what? He still had a better record at UCLA than Chip Kelly. Speaking of like Northeast schools that are shit that I think got a really good hire, UMass out, Walt Bell in, Don Brown. Brown, dude.
I like it.
I like that hire. That's where he got his like fucking his chops up in the Northeast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go Don Brown. Way to go.
There we go. Next up, the airport itself, FIU, Florida International. Butch Davis is donezo. I have no idea who's going to take that job.
Who's the head of the TSA? He needs to get that place ship shape.
Right there. Georgia Southern, they fired Chan Ludsford midway, and they got Clay Helton. I think that's a great hire for a school like Georgia Southern.
There have been a couple teams in the Fun Belt who have picked up the leavings of these big programs, and you look at ULM. You've got fucking Tommy Bowden, Rich Rod. I mean, you put a name in a school like that, they're going to do well.
And last, and certainly most least, New Mexico State. They fired Doug Martin. In comes Jerry Kill.
Jerry Kill.
He's taking the interim tag off of TCU.
Yeah,
he's going to New Mexico State.
Yeah. Well, hey,
good for Jerry Kill, I say. Good for the man. And we got one question here in chat. Not related. Do I think the XFL 2023 will be better than the 2020 version? I say out with the old, in with the new. Let's fucking get it. 2023 is going to be fucking electric. That's what I think. I think 2020 was on pace to be perfect. I think 2023 will be perfect. That's what I'm going to go with. And I think we're just going to stay. Oh, there you are. You're back.
There we go. I think XFL 2023 with all these with the years of preparation, with the fact that they decided not to rush it back for 21, 22, I really like that they're taking it slow. I think they're going to do their due diligence in cultivating football players, because it's really all about football players that make you have a successful league. If you put out a dog shit product in terms of what's on the field, people aren't going to want to watch it. And then just keep plugging in, do what the rest of America is doing, and just keep staying clued into sports gambling, and you're going to have a really successful league.
I also think it depends a decent amount on how the USFL does this next year. not like in particular how the USFL does, but what talent the USFL can attract. And it will be very interesting to see like what they're paying players versus what the XFL can like promise players and get players as a contract. The fact that the USFL has a contract with Fox is very interesting. Who knows? There's a lot up in the air.
And while the USFL didn't succeed long term, but a lot of people say that's because of like Trump and his whatever wanting to go after the NFL.
Yeah.
But let's I mean be like the kind of trailblazers that the USFL was previously, and maybe start offering contracts to sophomores, freshmen,
Get crazy with it. Get crazy with it.
Might as well just see what talent you can get. If they're going to be the no fun league and they're not going to let people play until they've been in school for 3 years, say fuck it, we'll take you if you've been there for 2. Here's money. Enjoy that.
Okay, here we are. Last bit of show. We got the CFL Semi Finals. This is the last bit I want to talk about. College football, fucking amazing. We're skipping right past the NFL. The NFL still in like late mid season, so there's weird shit happening. Hamilton Tiger Cats beat the Montreal Alouettes in the quarterfinal in the semifinal, the Eastern semifinals. They're going to go on to play the Toronto Argonauts, and our Saskatchewan Roughriders beat the Calgary Stampeders in a fucking barn burner where fucking Fajardo threw 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
Jesus. And they're going to be playing the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the number 1 team in the league.
God, that's tough. That's tough. But
that's tough.
Stop.
I believe. Drop.
Shut them down.
Open up shop, baby.
Whoa.
Oh.
That's how the Rough Riders roll.
You're goddamn right it is. I'm going to say the Argonauts get it done and the Rough Riders get it done. It's an Argonaut Rough Rider finale in Hamilton.
That's how it goes. That's how
Tim
it goes.
Hortons Field.
Book it. Run, tell that.
Fucking go. God damn it.
God damn it. This is a good episode, Jim.
This is such a good fucking episode. Normally I'd talk more about the USFL and whatnot, but I actually, this college football took up this entire episode, and I actually have a video coming out this week about my thoughts on the USFL, the XFL, the CFL, everything going on in that level of football. I think that'll do it, unless you have anything else you want to sign off on.
I got nothing. I'm reading Leo doubling down on Lamar Jackson slander right now, and it appears that Gino B has had fucking enough of it.
Dude, I'll leave it at this. The second he started slandering Tua out of fucking nowhere, guess what? Miami starts winning. I'm gonna leave that at that. The second he starts saying Tua is like the worst quarterback in the fucking league, guess what? He's thrown like 1 interception since then, and that was 4 weeks ago.
Him being on the opposite side of things you like will bear well for you,
I mean, I'm looking at the fucking win total spreadsheet right here. And yeah, blog incoming about that. My man, where can the people find you?
You can always find me being abrasive on Twitter, but not as abrasive as that one dude.
Suck my dick from the back.
From the back. At Of Oaklawn. That's OF Oaklawn. It's a very exciting time for me because I am of Oaklawn, and next Friday, Oaklawn Park starts running. They're running in December for the first time, I think, ever. I do my tip sheets for Horse Racing Nation. It's just picks.horseраcingnation.com. You can find me there. Wolf of Handicapping. We'll have every day available for $9.99, and I've got subscriptions for $49.99. My Friday horse racing show that's done for the rest of the year, which just frees up more time to be with this big galoot right here, always in the Jimnasium. You can catch us on the Picks Porch. You can catch us on Campus Profits. You can catch us on Fantasy Foreplay. You can catch us right here on Sunday nights. We got the Gym Rats going.
I was going to say, now that fucking college basketball is in full swing, don't forget the Gym Rats, my man. Y'all know where to find me. XFL Gym on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, every fucking where. Better Than Vegas. I got a big ass blog coming out tomorrow. It is the biggest. This is the most writing I've done since I've been in fucking school. So
dissertation, you should get it.
It really is. It's a breakdown of our giant college football mega show, and the garage fucking cleaned up. You, me, and Mike fucking cleaned up, dude.
Yeah, man.
Fucking
absolutely
amazing. And what I want to leave everyone with, I saw that today the Patriots are now in front in the AFC East. That's the NFL talk I'm going to give you. Oh,
that means for once, our best team in the NFL didn't lose.
It didn't lose. They broke the curse.
They broke the curse. It was the fucking Pats. God damn it.
Of course, it was the Pats, and I know he's not on the Pats anymore. But let me leave you with this.
You know what? Tom Brady's a fucking bitch. Fuck Tom Brady, yo. Fuck Tom Brady. Where the bread at, Tom Brady? I need some bread.
Where the bread?
Fuck Tom Brady and fuck the Pats. I love you guys. Peace out.
That might actually be TVG Youngboy. That dude would tell you to suck his dick from the back.
Oh, he would. He would 1000%. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, everything like that. Peace out, Garage family.